What if you could hear the unspoken truths that you need and want to hear about porn addiction or your struggle with porn from the people who love you the most? They do love you the most. So, I want to share with you these truths that your mom and or your wife want to tell you. Welcome back to the podcast and to the YouTube channel. I'm Dr. Trish Leigh. I'm a cognitive neuroscientist. I help people leave the screen, especially explicit matter. And I do this so that I can help people get back on purpose in work that they love, hobbies that fill their soul, and the relationships that mean the most to them. So if that sounds like something you're up for, please subscribe. I always give you neuroscience backed strategies. I talk about advanced neuroscience technology, and I'll give you a brain hack strategy that you can use immediately after this video. All right. So, just to remind you, this podcast is an outreach platform for my nonprofit organization, Porn Brain Prevention. That nonprofit is in the midst of putting together educational programs for young people, children, adolescents, and parents so that we can take this mission upstream and help kids to never become addicted to porn, which more and more kids are becoming addicted to porn every day. So if you want to help the mission, please go over to pornbrainprevention.org and donate. I match all the donations. Now, here's the 5 things that your wife or your mom wants you to know, but she can't tell you. Now, why can't she tell you? Let's cover that first. It's about emotional intelligence. You have to have the 4 pillars of emotional intelligence to be able to show up in difficult life situations and to support other people. You know how I know this? Because not only am I a cognitive neuroscientist, I'm the mom to 5 young adult children. My kids currently are between the ages of 14 and 22. I also have a bonus son that's in his mid 30s. I've been doing this stuff personally for a long time. And in preparation for this video, I thought about it. I feel like I really hit a stride of consistent, even keeled emotional intelligence in the last 5 years. I know what you're thinking. You're 51, lady. Shouldn't you have hit that before? Maybe, but I'm also human and I also come from a family that doesn't talk about challenges. I come from a family of origin, my parents, and I come from a family of 6, just like my family. My family, 3 girls, 3 boys. Family I grew up in, 3 girls, 3 boys. Now, here's the difference. In my family, when the crap hits the fan, currently, we've learned to all agree the crap's hitting the fan again, people. All agree what we're going to do about it, and we stay in it. Messy, smelly, ugly. We stay in it until we come out alive together. My family of origin, not so much. If the crap's hitting the fan, my dad would be like, "What crap?" My mom would be like, "What fan?" And there would be no conflict, even when conflict was necessary. So I've taught myself and I'm teaching my kids that's not how we roll. So here's the point: you need to have emotional intelligence to acknowledge there's something uncomfortable to talk about. Emotional intelligence has 4 main pillars. Number 1, self awareness. You have to be aware. I'm uncomfortable talking about this. But then you have to have self regulation skills, the second pillar, to be able to go into it anyway and be able to go, you know what? This hurts and this is weird and I feel uncomfortable, but I'm not going to die. I got this. Then social awareness, being able to see your people and recognize my people are struggling, even if they deny it, even if they're hiding it. That's social awareness. Then social relationship management. I have gotten a lot better at it. And I've been getting better incrementally over all the years, but I feel like I've consistently been able to show up in really difficult things without yelling, without crying excessively, without losing it, being able to stay in it. Probably for the last 5 or 6 years, I really have hit a rhythm. So let's talk about the 5 things your wife or your mom wants you to know. So not only does this come from a neuroscience perspective, it comes from a mom and a wife's perspective. Number 1, she loves you, even when she's upset with you. Now, if you struggle with porn and your wife didn't know about it and she just found out, she's probably pretty mad. If your mom found out about it, she's probably pretty concerned. She doesn't know what to do. But if they're upset, this is a sign that they love you. If they bounce and they can't handle it at all, they still probably love you. Love and being upset, those are not 2 mutually exclusive things. I want you to know that. So if someone's upset with you, It's because they care deeply. Love doesn't diminish in those moments, it actually increases. But you need emotional intelligence to be able to say, I love you. This is a problem. You have to figure this out. I can help you. When a person gets upset, it's because they lack the emotional intelligence or the communication skills or the interactional skills. That's what's lacking, not the love. So I want you to know that. Number two is in the same vein, is that you can never let her down. You can't. You can't let your mom down. If your mom's emotionally intelligent, I can tell you the things that my kids have done have been painful to me, have been, I don't understand them, have been painful to them. But through it all, their struggles don't define what they are to me. Humankind is filled with struggles. My children's worth and my husband's worth isn't about the struggles that they have. It's about that unique soul human being, that capital S self that's in there, the real them. That's the thing that I care for. That's the thing that I love. I don't love their grades. I don't love their money. I don't love how much they come around. I don't love if they're, making me feel like a good mom or a bad mom, which sometimes happens. Those aren't the things I love. I just love them. So you can't let her down. Your worth isn't defined by your actions, it's defined by who you are on the inside. And your mom and your wife, they believe in the strength that you have inside to overcome your challenges. They know you are 100% worthy of everything that you want. They might just not be able to tell you that. Okay, number three is it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. You've probably heard me say this before. Porn addiction is happening at epidemic levels. So, children are receiving phones when they're young. This is the first generation, or now we're moving into the second, or, we're on the tail end of that. But this is the first time in history where children have electronic devices in their pocket that can access pornography or explicit matter instantly. So we now have more people than ever that are addicted to porn. We know that porn is highly addictive, that it causes sexual arousal dysfunction, erectile dysfunction, it causes anxiety, it causes depression, porn induced ADHD, it disrupts relationships, it creates fetishes and disrupts arousal templates. It's at the core of the mental and physical health challenges that people are experiencing these days. This is the first time in history that the younger generation is worse off than the older generation. Phones are the major impetus for that, and explicit matter specifically is causing it. So, if you're addicted to porn, it's not your fault. It's the nature of the beast if you were exposed to porn when you were young and you watered those seeds of addiction. But that does not release you from the responsibility of breaking free. This is your responsibility. So, as a mom, my kids have a lot of stuff going on. I'll tell you the newest one. This will be a good one for you. We have a golf cart. We live in a neighborhood where, the 15-year-olds drive around on golf carts. So my precious daughter, my youngest one, 14 and a half, she'll be 15 soon. She let her friend drive the golf cart. A boy, a kid. Honestly, he's the mischievous kid of the group. So should she have let him drive the golf cart? Probably not, because he flipped it. He flipped the golf cart. She got pinned underneath it. Thankfully, she's fine. She had a very bruised, swollen ankle, and she had 3 huge cuts, her knees and her ankle. She's been hurt for 2 weeks now. That's the consequence of the decision that she made. Very difficult for me to look at her hurt. It's very difficult. As a mom who loves her, it's so difficult for me to look at her and see her challenge and be hurt and be miserable because she's usually bright and full of sunshine. But those are the consequences of her actions. So she wants to know when the golf cart's going to be fixed. And I'm like, babe, you're going to have to contribute to getting that fixed. And we're not getting it fixed until we make a plan and we get the finances around it. The point is, that tipping of the golf cart, that wasn't her fault per se. She made a bad choice letting her friend drive. He went too fast around the corner and flipped it. But ultimately, the fixing of that problem is her responsibility. Of course, I'm her mom, so I'm going to help her. But that's the same thing for you, my friend. Addiction can happen to anyone, and it's happening to more and more people, but you have to take the steps towards healing and recovery. The next one, number four is it's important to acknowledge that you have a problem. So, your mom or your wife wants you to say, I have a problem. Partners aren't dumb, they know something's up. Moms aren't dumb. I told my son Seamus, what did he say to me the other day? Oh, I can't think of it now, but he's like, just so you know. I'm like, Shay, I do know that. I know everything you have going on, my man. He's staring at me. I'm like, I know that because I know most of what he has going on. Moms aren't dumb. They see you struggle. They see you're off. They see you're in your room too much. They care about you. Going back to number one. So they want you to acknowledge you have a problem and they want you to get the help that you need. It's not weakness asking for help. I know it includes vulnerability, it feels embarrassing. I work with young adults whose parents are on the meetings with them. I love that. I love the fact that that 19-year-old told his mom that he is addicted to porn and mom is helping him. There's no shame in that. This is what's happening to the generation. Admitting you have a problem and seeking out the help that you need. Porn's highly addictive. I started to tell you it causes all of those things. And it's very difficult to step away from without professional help. We know this. It requires a 5-prong approach, which will be very difficult for you to do at home. But that's why I want you to subscribe to this channel or to listen to this podcast because I'm always talking about all 5 of them. First is neurologic. We know that there's a brain disruption that happens. It's at the core. I call it the silent tsunami. There's brain dysregulation and dysfunction that happens in the first couple times that you consume porn. It makes your brain need excessive amounts of dopamine. From there, you're hooked. Then it changes your mind and your body in the ways that I just told you: mental health challenges, physical health challenges. That disrupts your social relationships. People that I work with tell me all the time that they preferred porn over going out with their friends because of the dopamine. They didn't know it at the time, but then they would stop interacting with their friends and then they would get such extreme social anxiety. They couldn't go out anyways. They couldn't be around their family because of that anxiety. And it does play out as the feelings of shame, even though there's no reason to be shameful. But it changes your social relationships. And then if you have erectile dysfunction or sad sexual arousal dysfunction, you can't have a sexual experience with a partner. That becomes very anxiety provoking and it throws you back into the screen. So it's important to admit, I don't know how to fix this. The last piece is the spiritual piece, that this is a personal transformation journey. I just talked to one of my clients who he's transitioning into the maintenance program. And I'm like, I was just thinking about you and what a success story you are. You changed your working situation because it wasn't serving you. You changed your home because it wasn't the right environment for you. You changed the way you use your mind. He's training for a lot of really wonderful things. The way you use your body, you've changed your schedule, you're balancing. Life, he said, I feel calm. I feel like I'm in the chill zone and feels weird to me. That's the beautiful life that I want you to have. But porn doesn't fit into it because it disrupts your brain and causes all those mental and physical challenges that disrupts your relationship and it throws you off your spiritual path of purpose. That's the point. So it's this 5-prong approach. You have to address all 5 of them or you can't get where you want to go. These are the 5 pieces in my program. This is what we do all day, every day. Lastly, number 5, speaking of 5, number 5 is you can leave the screen. You can step away from it. You may have urges and cravings, but when you have the 5-prong approach, you can do it. You have an internal strength, a spark in there, that real self. It's stronger than the need for dopamine. So we know that that 5-prong approach is so important. We have to break the habit loop too, but you can do it. And when people really commit to this journey of walking away, their life changes. It's an amazing thing. All right, let's go to section 2 where you can understand the strained brain pattern that's going on in there. So, when you consume pornography for the first time, what it does is change your brain so you need more dopamine. Then it makes it so your brain becomes linked to whatever you're consuming in the screen and typically masturbation also. Dopamine deluge, flood and drowning from the excessive dopamine from the screen. Ultimately, what that does is it makes it so you're in a deficit state a dopamine deficit when you go back into your life. That's strained brain, a wired and tired brain functioning out in the extremes. An optimal brain, what I call the green zone brain map, is in the middle. That's where your brain is calm and focused. But when you're consuming porn, you're flooding your brain with dopamine and then it dries up and your brain's swinging back and forth like a pendulum in the pendulum effect. You're swinging back and forth between wired and tired. That puts a lot of strain on the nervous system and your brain. So what happens is then those circuits in your brain compulsively go back to dopamine to feel better in an instant for an instant. But unfortunately, it's instant gratification. It goes away, it leaves you with the delayed, misery that people have. Or maybe you don't know. I was just talking to my team today that many of the people who are really wrapped up in porn, they have misery inside of them. The fam and I just went to see the Thunderbolts Marvel movie. It was so good. I really liked it. And in that movie, it's all about depression and the darkness and the void that can take over. And it really made me think about all the people that I work with. This void takes over and they can't see a way out. That's why I want you to know you're stronger than you know you are. You can do this. But this brain pattern is real. It's in there. We can visualize it on a QEEG brain map. If you have strained brain, you're stuck in the pendulum effect. Your brain needs high levels of dopamine. It's very difficult to break free with strained brain. Decreasing strained brain using advanced technology like neurofeedback that I use, then that is the way your brain starts performing at higher, more functional levels. You don't need the dopamine anymore. My clients are always surprised when that happens. And I had a comment from someone who was saying that, I don't know, commenting on my program, something about neurofeedback, and you can do neurofeedback somewhere else. Of course, you can do neurofeedback somewhere else. But I will tell you, I'm blessed to be the top tier professional in the world offering neurofeedback that's recognized by other people. So I liken that to someone who cuts hair. Everybody who cuts hair, styles hair, uses scissors, right? But you could get a $5 haircut, you can get a $5,000 haircut. And it made me think because I once had a client who got a bad haircut, a young man, and you should have seen the strain brain in his brain. Wired. It wasn't so much tired, but it was on fire, a brain on fire from a bad haircut. So I don't want people getting a bad haircut and neurofeedback. I want them to work with me because I have very specific protocols that I have designed and developed to conquer strain brain and drain brain. Drain brain is when you've been straining your brain for so long, it tips over into that numbed out, anhedonic, just neutral feeling, general malaise, depression. That's drain brain. I have very specific protocols that I help people with, and the people who work with me get better fast. So, like, for example, a gentleman that I worked with, his name is Mark. He fell into the trap of porn use, secrecy, hiding it from his wife, trying to pretend everything's fine while having mood swings, angry and irritable one day, super high key and excited about life the next day, all depending upon the amount of dopamine flowing through the system, if he had consumed porn or not. Finally, his wife's like, "What is up with you? All these ups and downs." Their intimacy had tanked because he began to prefer the screen and the self-secret sex life. Partners aren't dumb. So what happened is finally he told his wife about his struggle. Now, if that seems like is just way too much for you, I get that. And you don't have to do that, just so you know. When people are in my program, I encourage them to get going on the road to recovery and have success. Then share it with your partner because then all the secrets are out, but you're already on the road to success. So I did struggle with this, but I've already conquered it because then you feel more confident. You feel safe. You feel secure in the relationship. It is terrible when you tell your partner you have a problem and your partner completely freaks out because they don't have the emotional intelligence to handle it. It's just about the emotional intelligence. It's not usually about them not wanting to be with you. They just can't handle it because they don't have the emotional intelligence. And if you've been in this situation for a while, and let's just say you've tried to quit yourself, you know the feeling of strained brain. You know, when you try to quit, you go through withdrawals. You go through withdrawals because of the strained brain pattern. So you don't want to tell your partner and then have it be up and down and back and forth in failure. That does not feel good to anybody. Okay, lastly, let's visit your brain hack strategy for the week for the video here is if you want to start rewiring your brain, number one, get a brain map with my team. This isn't the sales part. I committed to letting people know it's the number one thing that you can do to figure out what's going on in your brain and to set the road to recovery well on its way quickly. But of course, what we're going to do here is a 3-2-1 dopamine reset. You can do that at home immediately. So, first thing in the morning, 3 minutes of mindfulness. Don't go for your phone. If this is new to you, start with 3 minutes, but try to build up to 30 minutes. I'll go a very long time. I got a Slack this morning, and the person who sent it to me said, "Did you see my message?" This was at like noon. I'm like, "Oh no, I never checked my phone yet today." So, you can do that. So, 3 minutes to start. Mindfulness, if you're into prayer, pray. If you have affirmations, use affirmations to set the stage for a powerful day ahead of purpose. Work and career, vocation, avocation that you love, hobbies, relationships, feed them, right? If you don't feed those relationships, they can starve. You don't want that. Number two is take short breaks. Take at least 2 short breaks throughout your day. If you're not taking breaks, make sure you take a lunch. Many people power through an entire day taking care of the worldly things that they need to do. Yeah, the worldly things need to get done, but you need self care. If you're going to the screen, it's because you need a break. I want you to know that. Strained brain says it all. Your brain is strained, it needs a break. If you don't give it a break, it's going to scream at you for one, and it's going to require very high levels of dopamine from the screen to help you feel better fast. It's all artificial. It's disrupting your circadian rhythms. It's setting you up for failure. Take short breaks. Start with 2 short breaks and work your way up to 1 short break every hour and 15 minutes. Then that's the 3-2-1 evening ritual that's screen free. Right now, if you're spending your evenings on the screen, I want you to think back to old timiness, right? Old times when it got dark, all there was a candle or two for you. What would you do? That means you get outside and you enjoy the environment before the sun goes down. As the sun goes down, you start settling in for the evening. Screens artificially create more strain in your brain just by the light. The more you're in front of them in the evening and nighttime, you're going to disrupt your sleep patterns. You're going to pull your brain and push your brain back into the screen. So, create an evening ritual without a screen. You will be so grateful that you did. My evening ritual for a long time, and honestly, I do watch one show. I had to teach myself how to do it. I've been watching Madam Secretary. It's very good. I don't know if you'd like it. Anyway, what I've taught myself to do is to watch a show to chill out because I am the power through type. Then that's a little bit later actually. I'll pour organic tea and I'll sit around. And my kids are home for summer now, my college kids. It's so much fun. I was doing it the other night and I thought to myself, thankfully, I created this evening ritual because it allows me to have a spontaneous conversation with whoever walks in. But I sit downstairs in the living room at the time when everybody is going to walk in. So the other day, we all ended up there. It was really fun, just a spontaneous hangout with me and all the kids. My husband was golfing, but I'm like, and then I just stay in it. I'm like, I don't want to move because if I get up, everybody will leave. So I just sit there drinking my organic tea. Find out an evening ritual, but it's going to feel weird to you. It felt weird to me when I started it because I had to start it to get it going. If it's a new thing and it's going to serve you, it's going to feel different. So remember that one evening routine, screen free, that allows for connection with trusted, beautiful people that you can connect with, that you can be vulnerable with. Don't be in front of a screen next to your person. Be in eye contact, laughing, saying weird things, putting music on and enjoying it together, doing weird things together. That's the spice of life. When it comes down to it, those are the moments that matter at the end of all of it. Make them for yourself. You have to be around for them to happen. That's the biggest lesson I had. No sitting around drinking organic tea, no spontaneous, beautiful times with my family. We can create them like we went to the movies, but those spontaneous ones, those are awesome. So please do that. Now, if you're struggling, I want you to know you're not alone. This is happening to millions of people. Millions struggle with erectile dysfunction and sexual arousal dysfunction because of porn. Millions of people are stuck going back to the screen and they want to break free. If that's you, stay with me here on this YouTube channel. Subscribe. We're going to cover all screen things and we're going to keep dipping back into explicit matter. Stay with me. And remember, always remember, control your brain or it will control you. Now, there's another video coming up on the screen. Please click it, get more information. We're talking about men's health and masculine vitality here for the next month. Click it, and I'll see you then.